Guess what's happening? See a new day start. See the black sun's rising. So hello everybody and welcome to this reading. We are here to continue the declassification of these combinations that God revealed to us a couple of days ago regarding the sinister plans America has for the world. Or for the international community. Because they have plans to erect this one world government. They call it the New World Order. I don't know who put them in charge. And they think that they're gonna succeed. I've been hearing about this 2030 agenda. And whatever plans America has is not, I know it's not in our best interest. So, yeah. So today we're here to take a closer look at the state of Florida as it relates to, let me try and remember, Florida came out with, I can't remember, the Arctic Council at the bottom of the deck. Very interesting combination in my unprofessional opinion. I don't know very much about geopolitics. I don't know much about politics, period. All I know is these Americans are very evil, period. Even a blind man can see that. Anybody that's gonna turn your daughter into your son and your son into your daughter, they're evil. Anybody that's gonna open a female toilet to men because men say that they're now women, they're evil. Anybody that's gonna take God out of schools and God out of wherever else you've taken God out of is evil. Anybody who's going to put devil worship above God worship when the devil never created nothing. A God create the devil and everything else. You're idiots. And you therefore should not be in charge, especially not of the whole world. You can be in charge of your people if they want to have you in charge of them. But you are not worthy to be in charge of the whole entire world, because we are smarter than you, clearly. So, after so many years of blood and tears, still we're living in fear, wondering if and when we're gonna have our share. Well, guess what's happening? I see a new day's dawning. See the black sun's rising. Soon we will be free. So we're gonna take a look at the state of Florida first to find out what it is that God wants us to know concerning the state of Florida. Alright, where do we find that? Before we start, Most High, please block anybody that's trying to interfere with this reading so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your people. Thank you. Right. Now that we're covered, let's go. So, yeah, I figured for these readings I might have to make a new deck or two. So, what are we doing? We're looking at the state of Florida first. And however God wants to work this out, you guys just bear with us. Sometimes we make decks on live, okay? Because in order to stop the enemy from being able to infiltrate whatever is happening here, the enemy has to have no clue what is happening here, okay? So God has to elude their expectations and confuse them. So let's just go with the flow, because God has ears and eyes where we don't, okay? So we're going to take a look at the state of Florida. Let's find out what God wants us to know regarding the state of Florida. We had the Arctic Council as the underlying issue. So we're going to look at Florida. Guess what's happening? See a new day dawning. See the black sun's rising. Soon. Okay, so on the line we have childbirth. Very interesting. So we're clarifying the state of Florida as it relates to the Arctic Council. Childbirth. Okay, let's read on. Hang on. We're looking into America's sinister plans. The subject of this part of the message, clarifying the state of Florida, is childbirth. Interesting. So we have disownership to come out, but let's just check to see if it's in the upright or not. Because the energy was weird. Okay, it's in the upright. So disownership regarding childbirth. Let's read the underlying issue. So we got childbirth, stole a baby. And then we got divorce or disconnection, disownership, separation, criminal, generational programming, poor parenting. Interesting. We got disagreement regarding their supernatural abilities. Miracle. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is there are a lot of special babies being born in Florida. And it's like the parents are being urged to give up their babies. Okay? Separation to the criminals. So if there's a rise of children being taken from their parents in Florida, just know that that is orchestrated. Okay, these children that are being born, they're being born with special gifts, they're being born with supernatural abilities, and the powers that be don't like that. Okay, they're born blessed. Actually, the children are being born blessed. And I guess I have this theory when it comes to people getting their children diagnosed with ADHD and getting their children diagnosed with what's the other one called, ADD, ADHD, autism, these new diseases. Okay, they are a way to take your child, not just take your child from you, but it's a way to get you to administer drugs to your child to diminish their abilities. Okay, so you need to know when you have a special child. The government know that special children are being born in Florida. Okay, so whoever's having the babies in Florida, you guys are special people and you make special babies, and the government knows that. So they're setting up different means of making you come to the conclusion that you need to give up your children. I don't know how they're working this out, Okay, we got stole a baby, divorce, separation, and then criminal, generational programming, poor parenting. So I guess for any reason at all, any little reason, the government are taking it upon themselves to come in, the CPS or whatever they call themselves over there, are taking it, the Child Protective Services, whatever they call themselves over there in Florida, are taking it upon themselves to come and collect your children. And for some reason, you, the parents, are separating yourself from the children. So how is that even happening? Is it a money thing? I don't know. But you're giving away your miracle babies to the government. Okay? We got reconciliation, insurance, children, child or children, and covetousness. They're causing you to self-harm. So anybody who wants to get back with their children, they're gonna make it hard for you because they want your special children. The government want your special children. I'm getting a type of X-Men type of energy going on here because the children have supernatural abilities. So if you see your child exhibiting behaviors that are different to regular children, it's because your child is not regular. Your child is not meant to be regular. For what phase Earth is going into right now, we don't need regular people. We need supernatural people to handle these supernatural problems. Stop giving away your special children to these evil people. There's nothing wrong with your children. If your child don't want to talk, allow your child. The child know why. These children are advanced. And this is the reason why these people want to hurt me and get me locked away in mental asylum and all these things. Because I'm telling you these things. These things foil their plans. Stop giving away your children to these people. There's nothing wrong with your child. If your child don't want to walk, your child know why you don't want to walk. Or God know why he's making that child not walk yet. If your child don't like certain things, or if your child likes certain things, or whatever, God know the reason why your child is made how your child is made. And your children are supernatural. They are miracle children. They are here to make the changes in the world that we need to see. They can either work for we the people, or they can be given to the government and work on behalf of the government against we the people. Your choice. But just know that if you've already given your children away, it's going to be very hard. DNA or test results. Let's see what's coming next. Stubbornness of the elder. Yeah. When it comes to listening about this physical fight for your children, this prejudice, they're going to make it hard for you to get, because of the foolishness of your youth. So perhaps you've already given your children away. So maybe these children are already grown. Maybe this is something that was happening for a long time. Yeah, we got in-laws or step-family, relocation. Yeah, these children were probably put into, and that was illness. That was the wrong thing to do. So to put your children put your children up for adoption. All these special babies have already been put up for adoption. They've already been abandoned, probably put with other family members who don't have any good intentions for them, who have links with the government, shit like that. The government got their hands on them, and for you to get these children back on your side is gonna be very, very hard to do. So if you haven't already given away your child, you can either keep that child and train that child so that that child grow up to love we the people and work on behalf of we the people, or you could give your child to the government where they will retrain and reprogram your child's mind to work for them against we the people. Right. Okay, so checking into America's sinister plans, we got the Arctic Council at the bottom of the deck. So let's find out what God wants us to know about that part of the message. So, where do we find the answers for that? So the Arctic Council. The Arctic Council doesn't have to be talking about the Arctic Council, although it can. Hang on. Let's just take a look into the Arctic Council. So according to Google, the Arctic Council is a high-level intergovernmental forum that addresses issues faced by the Arctic governments and the indigenous people of the Arctic region. Okay, that's according to Wikipedia. It said, at present, 8 countries exercise sovereignty over the lands within the Arctic Circle, and these constitute the member states of the Council: Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, and the United States. Other countries or national groups can be admitted as observer states, while organizations representing the concerns of indigenous peoples can be admitted as indigenous permanent participants. Okay, we got that. So let's see the Arctic Council. What does I want us to know about the Arctic Council in this situation? If we would learn to rely on God, God will show us that it can make a way where there's seemingly no way. But we humans like to try and do things all by ourselves or rely on each other. Listen, we need to bring God back into the equation, period. So what's Florida's foster care system looking like? So we're looking into the Arctic Council now, yeah? At the bottom of the deck, we got Gazer, empty-headed. So somebody isn't paying attention. Well, yeah. So these people in Florida are having these miracle babies, and they're seeing them as though they are nothing and nobodies. But the government see them for what they are: special children, exceptional children, very valuable human resources. So the Arctic Council, the subject here is them being gazers and empty-headed. Okay? Not paying attention. So we got addict. Ah. Okay, this way. Okay, so not addict. Interesting. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. So we got racist. We got liar. The coward. Instigator. Clever. Computer hacker. So we got addiction in the reverse. Let me read on. So we got the therapist, and we got hater of peacemakers, the resilient ones. So addict in the reverse. To be addicted to something. Oh, because they're not paying attention. So the Arctic Council isn't talking about the actual Arctic Council. It's talking about how cold and disconnected the parents of these children are. So whilst they're not paying attention to how special their children are, they're taking their children for granted. The state of Florida is, first of all, we got a racist, a liar, and a coward, and an instigator. So the state of Florida, they are using people to put these children and these parents against each other. So that's why it says it's a clever computer hacker. They're hacking the children's brains, and then the therapist card come out. They're basically training these children to hate the peacemakers, which is we the people. You see, so the people have these wonderful children. They make these wonderful children. They don't see how special they are. One situation or the other caused them to disconnect from these children. Some of them could be addicted to drugs. Some of them could be low on cash. Some of them could probably just not feel like they're good parents. Whatever reason. Okay? And sometimes the government creates a reason, like they do in my life. Okay? So what they did in my life pertaining to my work, for example, and my housing, they infiltrated my business, made me shut down my business, and then branded me a bad tenant because the money from my business wasn't coming in to pay my rent. So then I got the branding of a bad tenant when they were the instigators behind my businesses being shut down, or one of them not getting off the ground in the first place. Okay? So they will do things like this just to separate mother from child. Okay? So that means they infiltrate babysitters, they infiltrate the schools, they infiltrate the doctors, they probably infiltrate the children's dreams when they're asleep, maybe even the parents' dreams when they're asleep, because the fight that we're up against is not a regular fight, it's a supernatural fight. Okay? They use juju against us, the government does. Okay? They know some of the best high priests and high priestesses, and they use these things as well as other intellectual means to make whatever they're trying to accomplish happen. If regular people use juju, the government use juju too. And they do. The CIA, the FBI, the whoever else that we don't know about, three-letter agencies, the special ops, all these people, and whatever other branches they have invented for these times. Branches of government that we've never even heard of, who have special missions like this, that doing that street theater and all them other things. People posing as doctors, secret agents posing as doctors, so that they can tell these parents the shit that they need them to hear to separate them from their children. Secret agents posing as teachers at your children's school, telling lies on your children. Every day your child is coming home with another bad report. Why? Because there's a secret agent there that's been hired to turn you against your special child. So every day they send bad reports about your child, and you and your child end up kicking off because you think that they're telling you the truth because they are adults. You expect them to tell you the truth, when really and truly they are instigating separation between you and your child, because your child is special and you, the parent, don't know that. So they get these bad results in school, and you start arguing with them, you're upset with them, then the child start hating you, they start misbehaving, you start hating the child more, and there you go. Separation. Now your child is for the streets. When they go out in the streets, they meet up on some gang members or whoever. That's actually a secret agent, because that child has been targeted all along. Because they know the ability of this child, but you, the parent, don't. You see the mathematics? You see the con? We, the people, don't even know who or what we are. We spend too much time focusing on fashion, focusing on competition, focusing on the opposite sex, focusing on fast food, focusing on pleasures, that we lose sight of what is truly important. We, the people, have been led to believe that we live in an ideal society where the government does what it's supposed to do, where the government can be trusted. The police, oh, it's a policeman. Police are people of honor. Judges and lawyers, they're people of honor. Teachers are people of honor. In this day, no, a lot of them are not. Oh, the corner shop guy. We've been going to that store for years. We can't trust him. No, you cannot. The garbage collectors, they've been collecting our garbage for years. You can't no, you cannot trust them. Use your discernment. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Know who you can and cannot trust. And before you leave your house or before you interact with the world, I suggest that you pray to God for guidance, because times are getting serious. Time's been serious long time, but it's getting even more serious. There's a war being waged on we the people, and we the people don't know. A war for control. A war for domination. And we don't know. Even some of the people who work for these same governments don't know. It's an inside thing. It's a secret society. Everybody's not meant to know, because if everybody know, it'll make their way harder. And that's why they want to kill me. That's why they want to shut me up and put me in a mental institution, because I'm telling you these things to keep you on your feet so you can watch out and avoid these sinister plans. You don't know the value of your children, but they do. You see your child as a burden, a headache. Why? Because they have been trained to behave like that. Or just lies have been told on them to make you see them that way. So, yeah, that's what's happening when it comes to the state of Florida and the Arctic Council. So it's not about the actual Arctic Council. At least I don't see it that way. I just see it as the coldness. There's no warmth between parent and child. There's no trust between parent and child. There's no proper communication between parent and child. There has been a separation which has been orchestrated by the government, who want your gifted children. And it's been working. They get into your mind, they get into the children's mind, and they create hate for peacemakers. They make the children resistant to talks of peace, because the government don't want peace between us. They want to control us. We are not their friends. They are not our friends. That's not how them see themselves, especially not in America. They see themselves as superior when they're supposed to be representing the people. Anyhow, that brings me to the conclusion of this one. The next one on the books, we're gonna dig into ECOWAS as it relates to Africa. Alright, so look out for that one coming next. Until next time, bye bye.